afternoon. Remember this?
They're nice. They're handy. They're colorful. Ready-made. They're also $24.99. So you can.
Hey now. I'm back, y'all. So, seems like only hours ago that I left you all. It actually was this morning. But some of that footage was actually from yesterday. But that's the magic of it all. Vlog magic. Anyway, yeah. Guess what, y'all? I'm crunk. I was a little salty this morning, but I'm crunk. Wait, do they still say crunk? Let's see, 2017. I don't know if they still say crunk, but I am crunk. Let me show you. Or wait a minute. I know what it is. I'm turned. Yep, that's it. I'm turned. Turned up. All the way up. Because I got some paper. Some paper. I got some paper. So guess what? Me and my little friend here about to get busy. So yeah. Told y'all. I got a problem. That's why you haven't seen me. You haven't heard from me. You know junkies just up and vanish like Houdini. Like the Underground Railroad. Yeah. Y'all gotta pray for me though. Pray for your girl. But I am going to show you in a little while after I feed my habit just what I've been doing with those things that I've been finding. It's all good for the kids. Gotta get the kids turned. So obviously I have opened this box. I have not removed the books yet, and that is because I just haven't got around to it. I did this on purpose. I kind of front loaded a lot of my work, moving the kids up, you know, skill level wise. I needed to get this done before now. So I did this, the prepping, before, or actually during the time I was moving. And then I went ahead and packed the books up because I didn't want to have to search for this box and pull out these things and, you know, get them prepped when I had the time kind of to do it as I was packing. So the box has been sitting here, but I did open it so that I can share with you what the resources are again, because like I said, I've shared before. I've always raved about these and I still use them. So dime a dozen mailbox magazines. A lot of you all are familiar with these. You run across them at Goodwill, thrift stores, what do you call those things, garage sales, and then you kind of toss them aside in the closet, in the garage, in the attic, in the basement, whatever, because you really don't know what to make of them. And I've shared, you have to go back and search, probably teacher resources, something like that, or just shoot me a comment and I can link you the videos. But you're about to see again something, you know, that I use them for. They are very valuable. Hardcover, you can find these yearbooks. eBay is my source because you can find them in bulk, and I'm talking 10, 20, 30 of them very cheaply. You can find them on Amazon, but you get more of them and you can negotiate on eBay. So, you know, even in the shipping wise, you still can get a lot more. And these, you can't really negotiate these on Amazon, and they go for more, which is ridiculous. But Here's the magazine. This one, the date does not matter. If you find old ones, it doesn't matter. I think I have some back from the 90s. I might have some 80s ones in here. It doesn't matter. They go up by grade level because the material is just, you can still use the material. So it doesn't matter what grade is on it. Just use it. Here's a 07. So these are like my go-to resources. This one's primary. This is 2003. This one's kindergarten, grade 1, 2005. So that's what's in here. See, whole box. I think I have about, I don't even want to guess, maybe 5 of these. But I'm just going to give you a peek because, like I said, I already shared these. And it's pretty much the same thing, but it is more. And it's a hardback. But you get your black line masters in here for resources. And I mean, look at bulletin boards. It's late. They're math units. They're organized by subject. So any kind of templates I need, I can pull out one of these and I get a template. And I might not necessarily use it the way they're saying, but I may just need an airplane template for something. So I was just so ecstatic to find these because I've been a long time user of Mailbox Magazine, and you have to look around. Like I said, you can negotiate. You can pull out a couple of these books very cheaply, and I'm talking under $5. So you just have to know, you know, what to look for. And a lot of times the seller will have more than one. Negotiate with them, let them know you're willing to buy more than one, all of them, and they're more likely to give you a deal. Keep in mind, they are heavy, okay? So you're going to pay some shipping. They are heavy, and you know, like I said, granted, they are worth it though. So, but let me take you to the table and show you just what I've done to upgrade. Oh yeah, see the storage versus a box of a board game. Okay, they're all in a box. My resources in a box rather than stacks of oodles of board games. So not that there's anything against them, you know, it just, yeah. And it's, I know honestly it's probably harder to get rid of a board game than it is to get rid of a book. You know, I can pass these along with no problem, just like the person passed them along to me. Also, if you have teachers in the family or your friends are teachers or whatever, ask, because they may have them. You can also go to the website and they have a lot of free templates and all that kind of thing. Sign up for some stuff. But anyway, let me get you over to this table. Alright, so I am back in this green bin full of games. Nice, simple storage, compact, and it works. So you have early finishers, you have you know, fun day, afternoon schooling, fun schooling, whatever you want to call it. Busy box, you know, it just gives them something other than, of course it's school focused or, you know, concept focused, but it does not, it's all hands-on, and it doesn't, it's not a workbook, you know, it's not a worksheet. So let me show you what I pulled out of the Mailbox magazines. And you guys know a lot of this stuff is the TPT stuff, and there's actually a mixture of 3 different resources in here. It's like this, Teach at Daycare. I've shared this curriculum plenty of times, but that's where that stuff comes from. So let me just get to the goods. Alright, I'm gonna try to grab what I did in one lump. Like I said, I leveled up skill wise. So yeah, But I looked at a lot of the commercial kits and file folder games and things like that from Lakeshore, from Carson, Super Duper, everywhere. I looked, and the money, it didn't look, the quality, it just didn't look like something that was worth me actually purchasing. Again, I don't have a problem spending the money, you know, even if it's a chunk of money. If the quality is good and it's, you know, the product is going to deliver, it just seemed like more something that I can do on my own. With the resources I'm showing you, you don't have to be very crafty. It's a matter of print. You know, you don't have to come up with things. I put my own spin on games and things like that, but you don't have to be crafty with these resources. And so that's what I'm showing you. You know, and if they happen to get torn, you can reproduce them again. Whereas if you're missing a piece from a game that you purchased, you know, you have to improvise, or you're just missing pieces. But yeah. All right, so inside of the magazine comes a colored game mat. And so same thing that you would see, you know, commercially. They're game mats. This one happens to talk about, this one is about addition, add, and math check. And on the bottom it'll tell you what year and what book it came from. And I'm just going to open up quickly. You see I got envelopes, and they seem to work best to store the pieces in. And all I did was laminate some of the, not all of them, but most of them, the mats. And so they have to add the apples in place accordingly where they go. So this one is 8, they would place it under 8. Now my 3-year-old loves to do this. It's math. She doesn't really understand, you know. It's not a whole page full of problems, but this is math. So she is grasping addition very well, and I don't have to spend a whole lot of time. She's moving to first grade math. I don't have to spend a lot of time teaching addition and subtraction because of these games. In the back, they happen to give you the answer. They never picked up on the answers in the back to where they just go through, and you know, it's just fun for them to work on. You know, feed the horse, the hungry horse, the horse eats apples. So we talk about it, and then they do. But this is basically things that they can do on their own. A lot of these things are geared towards partners. So it also fosters socialization, you know, community. They're learning how to, you know, play a game together, but there are things that they do on their own in here. This is a mat that gives you the spinner, and I just haphazardly laminated it. And this one is for consonants, final consonants. So here's the game, 2-player game. All they need is a marker. We use the counters, whatever kind of counter you happen to have. And there you are. You know, you get some phonics, language arts going in there. But this is a full color pull out. And then on the other side, there's a poster, how many pups in a pool, concepts of addition. So we talk about this. Sometimes I would hang these, you know, for a brief period of time when I wanted to highlight whatever it is, and you know, it works. So usually you're going to get something like a poster on one side and a game on the other side. So, and I have some more full size. I'm just going to do that one just happened to have that spinner. I'm going to do these first. Here's a colorful bird, and they're going to match the color to the word. And usually my 2 little ones do it together. Obviously, I didn't really need this, but if I wanted to use it as a recipe card, I laminated it so I can take the envelope off and use it, or copy it, or whatever. Trying to find the bird, get through this kind of quickly, but we're going to pretend, oh, I have 2 matches. So, I'll say we're just going to pretend that these match. Alright, so. So what they do is they will put purple, and so they're working on their word recognition. So that's how that goes. Nice and quiet activities. That's what I like. Nice and quiet. Alright, this one is called Take a Look. Place the cards in order. And I like that they're colorful. This one was actually a sheet. You can tell the color variance versus a poster. So this one, it was actually a page, but you can just as well do what I did, copy it. And it's basically a sequencing thing. There are 3 different stories in here. There's a blue one, there's a pink one, and there's a yellow one. And they're going to take and sequence these cards. And we talk about it, okay, what comes first, what comes next, what comes last, and things like that. And like, wait a minute, he's eating. Well, he can't eat until they come out of the oven, so therefore they know that they have them in the wrong order. So a couple of those in there, and I think there are a couple of these type of games in this go around. And so it really helps them put together events, even for a first, second grader, you know, retell the story. And they have fun retelling the story. And I just grabbed up a bunch of other things. These are actually teach at daycare resources. And for time's sake, I'm really not going to go through those. I'll probably have to go back and share those in another video. This was something else I found in an older mailbox magazine, Wolf's Tale, and it has some comprehension questions, and you number your paper, use the calendar. What day did the little wolves buy bricks? So they're working on calendar. Are there more Saturdays or Mondays in this month? Learning about dates and things like that. Obviously with the young ones I have to read this, but a lot of them I do with them, so if they want to partner. But looking at this, 1994, so yeah, they have upgraded. And here's another one on the back. This one is really cute. And sometimes I will have them draw a picture of one of the questions. So these are all kind of fun stuff with this. This one is a game that they can play together, and it's just a basic little money game just to get them recognizing money. And they spin it, and if they have that, they call out that coin, and then they cover it up. So I give them the other coin, and that's how that goes. Matter of fact, let me grab something off the shelf because I'm going to get to the game in a minute. This I have shared in a clip of her actually doing this. It's a patterning game, and what it is you put down the pattern and you show what comes next. And so there are a bunch of these little things in here, and you basically find the one that matches. So that one happens to not be the one that matches, obviously, because I'm doing the video, but you get the point. There's one that matches each one of them. So that's good for that. And then next that is not from there either. This is called What's Inside, and this one is sorting by ending sounds, and it has you have a card that kind of goes here, and you're going to find a match. There are 2 that go along the side. Let me see. See, it always when you're trying to do a video, you can't get it just right. I saw 2 that match, but that's what that is, or a couple that match. And I don't see the hat anymore. Here it is. Cat and bat. Okay. And then there's another one in here somewhere. That matches those, but that's what that is. So, ending sounds. And not necessarily rhyming. It's basically the same ending sound. But there are a couple in there that do rhyme. So that kind of gives them a little, you know, a little leg up. Alright. Move it along here. Let me put that one aside. Matter of fact, I thought I had gone through and opened all of my full-size ones to make it quicker. Alright, this one is coin identification and value. So this is really where we're at. So I needed to level up on this because we're really focusing more on this for the 6-year-olds this year. So I wanted to make it fun because they are moving into higher values and just, you know, in general, not counting pennies and nickels and dimes. They're counting higher denominations. So yeah, got to disguise a little education. They could put their markers on, start, and when it's their turn, they roll a die and they move their marker and they tell the coin. So you give them a die, and we use a die. This one actually goes for another game because it's already programmed, but we have plenty of those, so they know to get that their marker. And then on the back it's just a word bank, and it tells you to write. So this is what we use for story. I would give them a dry erase sheet that has the square in the top for the picture, and then the lines they can write about what they see on this page using these words. So that's what that is. And then this one is, this one I had displayed for a while. It's just a basic writing a sentence reminder. I started them out on punctuation with that and took it off the wall. Tic-tac turtles, they choose a turtle, stack the cards face down. When it's their turn, they take the card and name the value, and then they put the matching amount on their turtle. So the first one to cover 3 spaces, kind of like tic-tac-toe, and the pieces are in here, that's the one that wins. But they look like that. In fact, I took these and made those because I needed some of those for the other game. So that is. And the next one is, I'm trying to be a little bit long. If I had mixed this with the TPT, it probably would have been an hour-long video, and I didn't want to do that. Banana split. Play with the partner. You're going to put the cards. This is another coin counting game, and like I said, I've seen mats and math kits in, you know, commercially, and they just did not, you know, by the time you order it, pay the shipping and all of that, it just didn't really seem like it was, I could use what I had. Play with a partner. You put the pink ones face down, the blue ones face down. When it's your turn, flip over the pink and the blue, find a match. So it's basically they're going to be a match to the this one, and then they count the denominations. So depending on, you know, just depending on the size. The envelopes work fine. If you want something else, you know, they are pretty good about not losing the pieces because it stays in the bin. If it does, if the pieces come out, they're usually in the bin, so we haven't had any lost. And like I said, I can print them out again. So Candy Express, put a problem in the first box, put the answer next to it, check it. So another math game. 2, that's an answer. So there we go. 3 minus 1 is 2. So they will put them in there accordingly, and it gives them a little clue for the younger ones. And I did not organize these at all by grade. I just went from 1 to 2 to grade 3 and just put them in here because they can pretty much do them all. This one is Happy Camper. This is another sequencing one like the library one. So it's 3 different scenarios. I think a bear going fishing and, you know, a bear going camping, that type of thing. This I have also shared a clip of her doing this. This is tangrams, geometric shapes. So again, you get things like this, and this one's nice and colorful. Over here was just a color pattern. These are actually templates for something, and I really didn't need them, but if I did, I could copy them. Again, I have shared this in a the other one. Sometime in April, early April, I shared that, her actually doing that. This one, it was, I think, geared to 3rd grade, maybe. Time, telling time, and they're going to match the times. I'm just going to show you really quickly what the pieces look like. So they're going to get pieces, and they are basically to match time to whatever they have. So they get the digital and the analog, and that has really been helping them. And then we have muffins for monkey. This is sort by ending sounds, things that end with those sounds. My 3-year-old really enjoys doing that. I say end sound, maybe end, beginning or end. Beginning sounds. The other one was end sounds. So she would find D for doll, F for fork. So, and she kind of knows those, but this just, you know, is something for her to do, and it's just fun. And sometimes I need a moment, and comes in handy. Better than TV. This one is Super Cheesecake. They are going to decide whether what they're reading is a strip, whether it's a question or a sentence. Do you like our big cake? Obviously that's a question, so they're going to build that cheesecake, and that's it. It's not going to show in the back. No, it's not on there. Story writing prompt. So you get stuff like that in those. This one is put the coin card in a big box and match the card in a small box. So again, another math game, and it looks like this. So you're going to get the number and a coin value, and they just have to match it. This one is called Mouse Tails. They're going to put a number card and the matching book card and check the answer. And this is what these look like. So they count. So basically the youngest one, you know, working on her one-to-one correspondence and her cardinal numbers and things like that. And then, let's see, the next one, I think I'm almost finished with the folder ones. This one, Rodeo Time, is another clock matching, and you can see the pieces right here. So just a different theme, basically, but it was nice. So I took that one out. This one is called Pup on the Go. And this one is the, oh, I know what this one is. I was trying to do this one. It was actually this one I was thinking of when I showed you another one. You, hen, 10. So I was thinking when I said the rhyming one, it wasn't necessarily rhyming. I was thinking of this game. And so you're going to have 4 cards that rhyme with 10, and then you will put net, and then you would find the cards that rhyme with net, and then there's hay, and then there's cake. So that is that one. Put that back in a few minutes. This one used to be on the wall. Patterning. My little one loves to do patterning. She has a lot of this in her math book. So, but it's obviously off the wall. And then on the flip side, it's just a poster of school words, and we use it for them to write something. Again, they get that dry erase sheet and they write something. Or for a little one, just get them to write the word. So, in this, we take it and put it on the table, the floor. I'll give her things and tell her to make a pattern, make different patterns. She'll mark them with a little counter marker or whatever. So it's, you know, hands-on. Here is birthdays are the best. They're matching uppercase and lowercase letters. And you notice that all the game boards have their directions right on them. So it's really easy. Whoever covers the most lowercase is the winner. This one is a shapes. So have them identifies a lot you can talk about. Not necessarily a game, but you could turn it into a game. This one is called At the Zoo. Initial consonants. You put your markers on start. Roll the die. Move your marker. Name the picture. Say its beginning letter, and the first person to reach finish, obviously, is the winner. The back, that's what this is for. They're going to get a cube, and you label it accordingly, and they go on start, and the first person to reach the finish is the winner. So that's why I programmed those. This one is counting by 5, so you give them something to, you know, touch, place on the bricks as they count. But the little pig in the brick building. This one is just a ag word poster. This one is talking about positional words. I give her something, an object to you know, manipulate around the board, and that helps her out. And we do have a little bat, so that is helpful if you have whatever's on there to give it to them. If not, yeah. This one is called Tail Wagging Toys, and it's just basically color words. It's a 2-player. They roll the die and they move their marker around to the finish line. So, and they know their colors, but it's just fun for them to do, and it's quick. But you can also work on spelling if you choose to program it. You know, something. It does give you the spelling on it. Just ask them to spell it as they move. Treats for Teddy. 2-person game. You're going to take 3 counters for each treat. Put your game marker on start. When it's your turn, roll the die, move your marker, read the word, spell the word. Each time you pass start, you put a treat on the plate for Teddy. So if you all are on ABC Mouse, you know you get the little hamster, you feed the thing, so they get to do this and not have to log on to ABC Mouse all the time. Same thing. It's fun. But, you know, just basic spelling sight words. But then you get, you know, love, mom, dad, some words. These are not all sight words. So over here is fractions, equal parts. And we've done a lot with fractions, even with the little ones. Obviously, they can understand this. So that's what I like. You know, half, split in half. They get that concept. Equal, not equal. Yeah. So obviously this is not equal. So they grasp it. I like using things like this. This one is called Cool Deal. High frequency words. They put the marker on start. They roll the die, spell the word, read the word. First person that finishes. So another one of these, and then they have to go back and all of that. So it just adds a little, you know, rather than let's do a spelling test, give it to them in a game. Telling time, they are to read the clocks. So you can give them a little clock, let them manipulate the hands. We use the little Judy clocks for this as well. 1, 2, 3, read. This is a poster. turn into a game. This one, and I think I probably have about 4 more. Ocean words. Again, you let them write, let them spell, what have you. Another fraction game. So, talk about it, read it, let them draw it, let them paint it. So much you can do with this. This one is another 2-counter game. They're going to put 10 yellow counters, ladybugs on a leaf, and then they're going to put 10 red on a B leaf. Okay, because there's player A and then there's player B. And they're going to decide who's going to be first. They pick a flower and they move the matching number of ladybugs to that flower. And the person that has 0 first is the winner. They have to tell the subtraction story as they move along in here. So this one is subtraction stories. This one is called Clickety Clack, and it talks about plane shapes. And again, these things are very old, but they hold up very well. No need to laminate them. You put your marker on start, you roll, you move, name the shape. So, this one is just a scrub it up, a rhyming. You can give them some markers and let them, like a cover, a rolling cover. You know, it's not necessarily designed that way, but you can do that. This one is busy builders. They decide who's going to be A and B. Put a cube on each brick on their wall. When it's their turn, they roll a number on the die, say the number, and then they take that many cubes. And the first person to take all of his cubes wins. So you have to have, you know, cover it basically with your counters and remove them as it's your turn. This one is rhyming. This is fun. Put your markers on start, and I think I shared them playing this game as well. They're going to toss a counter. They get a 2-color counter, and they toss it, and they move their marker to the first matching gumball. So, say the rhyming word, and the first person that gets to the finish line, obviously, is the winner. Then we have here, did I show the back part of it? Yeah, I did. Peanuts, addition to 10. So they're going to start, and the first person to get to the peanuts, and then they get to go back and all that stuff. So really, really fun, and I shared just last night another way to do this with just a generic game board from CPT and some flashcards. They were actually using word cards, blends, and digraphs, but you can do it with also math flashcards. This one is just a number line. I got them familiar with the number line by putting this up. So for the little one, I put this down and just let her learn how to use it. That way when she sees it on her work, she can use it. And this one is words that describe snow. Oh my. So that is the end of that. And next to me, I have this. I have not shared. I am going to share. I have a lot of things to share. I know you all have been here. I'm kind of, yeah, I don't want to spend a whole lot more time, but I have reading. I have the reading comprehension. Somebody also requested that. Because I share the phonics binder. I have upper level, which includes comprehension. But I do have this, and as you can see, it is loaded, and they were using it, so it's out. But that is that, and like I said, the rest of this stuff comes from Teach at Daycare. I will come back and share this stuff at I don't know, another time. I have been sharing, you know, as much as I can. It's just so much, so much. But these are things that I include in here. This is a bill sort. The bills are in here. This is a patterning. All of her games kind of come like that, and there's just, you know, ducks and a lot of different things. This one is money. This one is money. This one is patterning. Yeah. This one is about weather. What makes the weather feel warm. This one is about the westward expansion, because we're covering that this year. This one's about money. This one is basically a pattern. It's just about 4 different kind of patterns they can make: an owl and a worm, owl, worm. I don't, you know, just all kind of stuff. But that's what I do with these. So her curriculum, like I said, I have talked about and I have shared, and it's well worth it. She actually sells these things already cut and laminated and all of that in a kit. Oh my goodness. For $99. It is well worth it if you only purchase that. Put that stuff in a bin like this and you will never run out of resources. That's pretty much what is back here. So some of them, you know, there's tons of them I have not even cut. Some I haven't laminated. We've been using them all along. Stuff like this. But again, I'm not getting ready to get into all of them. Some of them they just do as worksheet. But this is one of hers too. So lots of stuff in here. Influential African Americans. I think I've shared that. Anywho, let me get out of here. But like I said, I wanted to share this and just kind of let you know the resources. I'm a firm believer of when I show you something, you're going to see it years later. I'm not going, you know, purchasing new things or better things. I buy and I use everything in here. If I have to tweak it, I tweak it. I put some juice on it. That's what I have always said. You cannot, it's impossible to continue to buy and buy and buy, because that becomes overwhelming. Okay, you have storage issues with that, and it's just hard. It's hard to gauge what your child needs, you know, every single time. And then a lot of kids advance at a rapid speed.
I want to play a game.
You want to play a game? Hold on. So you would be buying something that they would outgrow, you know, quickly, and then what? Luckily I have 4 around the same age, so that it goes through all of them. So and I'm having, yeah, but you get the point. You know, storage wise, money, price point, find a resource that you can, that's reproducible, you know, reproducible, little or nothing. You know, I know printers can be costly. I've shared the printer. Mine does not take a lot of ink. A lot of people do have internet, and so these things are options for you. You can also take those books to copy Office Max and things like that if you didn't have a printer and you just had the books, you know. And like these, I just tore them straight out and used them as is. All you need are manipulatives. So it's a lot of resources out there. You can buy these little mats for $24.99, $34, $44, you know. But yeah, anywho, let me get out of here and get these kids. Hopefully I can get this up, and I'm getting ready to give you another teaser really quickly. This is what's coming up next. I've been sitting on this book haul for about a month. I need to go back and find out when I actually purchased, but I've been sitting on it, and I have a reason why I've been sitting on it, but that is tomorrow's video. Bye.